My name is Miguel and I've been doing mountain bike since I was 10 years old. However, for this story to really make sense, we have to travel a further 5 years back for the time that I got my first bike. I remember it was during Christmas and my parents, as any parent will do, they offered me a small bike with side wheels. And I remember the first time that we went out for me to test the bike, I was scared of riding it. As you can tell, it didn't stop there because in the bottom I knew that, come on, you have to do it. You can be just a So yeah, I kept trying. It was scared as I remember, but I was trying and maybe after 2 months I was able to ride a bike with 2 side wheels. So yeah, I was pretty scared of bikes since the beginning. After that, because I had a cousin that is a year younger than me, he learned how to ride a bike without side wheels. And I was the older cousin and I was already behind, so I needed to try at least, you know? And it wasn't easy. I remember if I was scared to ride a bike with 2 side wheels, without side wheels, it was a nightmare. I think it took me a full year to learn how to ride a bike without the side wheels. A year after, my brother started to build little jumps in the backyard. And I remember that he built a small jump at that time. It was kind of a roller, you know, so you could just roll it safely. So me and my cousin, we could try it. So yeah, maybe the first 50 attempts, we just roll it. Then we try to go for the jump. And oh boy, I still remember how it felt the first time I got some proper hair time. And with proper hair time, I say maybe jump 10 centimeters. But it was insane, you know? I still have that feeling today. It just felt like I was flying. And that's where I knew that mountain bike was something that I really wanted to do. And I really wanted to be better. However, how the previous years showed, I'm really scared of bikes. I kept riding small jumps for a long time. I remember my cousin and my brother, they were already jumping bigger ones and I was just scared. I just couldn't jump it because I was too afraid of it. So yeah, time went by. I also had a 16-inch wheel bike. You know, I just did some little rides. We did also some videos for Pink Bike at that time because Pink Bike was just starting to go up. I had a lot of comments of people saying, yeah, you're gonna be someone, you know, you're gonna ride good, keep going. And I remember looking at those comments and I didn't feel it because I knew that I was really scared to be a good rider, you know? My biggest dream, I remember, it was to do a road gap because at that time we had the iconic road gap in Cabo Girão in Madeira. Me and my cousin, we would do like small tracks and I would just grab a stick and dream that I was, you know, a professional mountain biker and I was doing races, you know. I would just think about jumps and jump just with the stick, you know. And yeah, that was always something that I really wanted to do. But at the same time, I was too scared of riding my bike. So yeah, you start to feel like maybe this is not for me. Maybe I have to find another hobby, another passion. But at the same time, I liked it so much that I just couldn't let go. After that, I remember my mother bought me a 26-inch bike, just the cheapest one that you could find in the store. And I remember that I had that bike for 2 years and I just rode it in the road because it was a bigger bike, so I couldn't put my feet in the floor. So I was scared to go to the downhill track with that. So what happened was then I convinced my father to buy me a full suspension 20-inch wheel bike. And I rode that bike for 3 years. Yes, I had a 26-inch wheel and I was riding a 20-inch because I was too scared of it. I was too scared because the other bike was too big, so I didn't feel comfortable. Then I rode that 20-inch wheel for a long time. We also did some little videos and I progressed a bit, but nothing special, you know. Maybe I went from a 30-centimeter jump for a 50-centimeter jump, and I still felt like a failure, that I would never be good at mountain bike, because I mean, I've been trying for, at this time, 5 years, and I'm just not good, you know? I'm scared of riding a big bike, and the bike I have, I'm scared of doing little jumps. So yeah, how would I ever be able to ride it properly, you know, to be good at mountain bike? And then it was when my brother won the giant contest. You know, man, that contest changed our lives forever. My mother had another priorities for us, like we needed to study, we needed to eat, we needed clothes. So of course, as much as we loved mountain bike, a good bike was never something that my mother could give us. And we were always okay with that. However, doesn't mean that we never dreamed of having a good bike. And the giant contest gave us that opportunity. Maybe for Giant it was just another bike, but for us it was game changer. When we received that bike, I tried that bike. It was 26-inch wheel, and I thought I really want to be able to ride a bike like this. So what I started to do, I grabbed my 26-inch wheel bike out and I started riding it, because I knew that if I wanted to ride that bike, I really needed to fight the fear of a big bike. So I took that bike outside and I started fighting the fear. And what happened was that I broke the bike. Then I started working with my father on the Sunday, and then I bought a frame. It was a Berg Viper, and I rode that bike for maybe a year. And that's when things started to change. I was getting more confident. Now I was able to ride a big bike. I remember waking up every Saturday and just grab my bike and go to the top of the trails and, you know, start riding it, trying to improve the speed, trying to hit some new jumps. And at that time, it was when I found Club Canis Riders. It was a local team from Madeira, and they told me, you should come along with us for a shuttle day in the other part of Madeira Island. That's when I realized that if I wanted to go further with this hobby, I needed another bike. And of course, at that time, my brother was in the university, and that beautiful Giant Glory was just sitting in his room. So yeah, I started to talk with my mother, you know, that bike is there, he's not riding it, that will be better for me. And Flip eventually agreed in me using his bike, and that's where everything changed. After that, I just started riding every single weekend, just pushing myself. I will ride on Saturday, on Sunday I will work with my father, just earn some money to just spend it all in shuttles and fixing my bike, because at that time I had no idea how to fix it. And I kept doing that for 1 year, just keep pushing, just hitting bigger jumps. And then people start to talk about races. And of course, that everybody dreams of being a professional mountain biker, you know, being a racer. Maybe I have a chance, you know, I'm getting better, I'm riding faster, I'm hitting bigger jumps. So yeah, maybe I have a shot. And the first race was so disappointing. Oh man, I sucked. But of course, the competitive side just said, you know what, I'm gonna keep training and I'm gonna be fast. So yeah, in the beginning it was really fun, because I was really seeing the progression every time that I rode my bike, you know, maybe a new jump, maybe a corner that I did faster, I don't know, anything, and I will just grab that and use it as fuel to continue progressing. But as the time passes by, it's slower, the progression. You don't see it that much. So I started training even more. I had classes at 1 p.m. I'd just wake up at 6, just go to the mountains, just do a run, then arrive home, take a shower and go to school. I was really obsessed with the results and I was not enjoying mountain bike anymore. There were times that I would just do a full run and in the end it felt like I didn't do anything, and that's when I said, you know what, I'm gonna stop racing because this is not healthy anymore. I'm not riding my bike because I like it. I'm just riding because I want it to be good. I'm just riding it for the results. So yeah, I just stopped it and that was the best decision I could ever make. And that's where I started again the progression. Then I kept just riding for fun for a year. Then it was time to go study to Algarve. I remember looking in Facebook Marketplace for a bike where I could ride in the mainland, and I found this Giant Glory from 2012, something like that, really cheap, and I started riding with Wildpack there. And there was when I got some speed because I had a lot of technique, but in the area that we ride in Madeira Island, you don't have that much fast tracks, it's more technical tracks. However, with the university, you have more exams, so I started to ride bike less and less. And that's when I decided to go for a ride again, and the wind just blew me off and I twisted my ankle pretty bad. And that's when I decided to join my brother in the Netherlands, mainly because of the good bike parks that we have around and the trails, and that's where we just created the MTB channel. So yeah, I would say that the biggest progression was these 2 years because we rode a lot of bike parks, and it really gives the progression that you are looking for. Because you have different type of trails, you do a lot of runs in one day. But yeah, sometimes I feel like the 10-year-old never left the body, you know? It's still there, especially on new jumps, new trails. So yeah, the focus is to keep progressing my skills, keep fighting the fear, keep trying to be better than I was before. So yeah, I hope this video also helps people that want to start doing mountain bike, or they are already starting and they don't see too much progression. So my advice for someone that is starting would be, don't worry, don't rush, take your time, you will get there. For some people it may take 1 month, 1 year, 5 years. As long as you're having fun, it doesn't matter. I promise you, you will get there.